Caravanners, welcome back to the Tent of Meetings, where we meet with God in His Word and hear stories of our salvation. It has been a terrific week as we have heard how God promised us a Savior and how God provides all we need. And yesterday we heard the story of how Jesus came and did what we could not do. He conquered sin and the temptation of Satan. Today we're going to hear the story of how Jesus fought the battle against sin, death, and Satan and won salvation for us. Caravanners, good news. God rescues you. Today you're going to need your travel journals. So I'm going to ask the caravan leaders if you would pass out travel journals and something for your members to write with. As we go through the story, I am going to ring a bell. At the point that I ring that bell, I want you to repeat the next line that I say after me. After you repeat that line, put a cross by the picture in your travel journal that fits the words that we just said. I'm going to give your caravan leaders just a minute to pass out the travel journals, and then I'll get started in reading today's story. Hopefully your caravan leaders have had enough time to pass out the travel journals now, so we're going to begin with the story. The soldiers took Jesus into the governor's headquarters and gathered the whole battalion before him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, twisted together a crown of thorns, and put it on his head, and put reeds in his right hand. The soldiers mocked Jesus, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" They spit on him and took the reed and struck him on the head. When they had mocked Jesus, they stripped him of the robe, put his own clothes on him, and led him away to be crucified. They led him away to be crucified. Along the way, the soldiers made Simeon the Cyrene carry Jesus' cross. When they came to Golgotha, which means place of the skull, they offered Jesus wine mixed with a bitter-tasting gall. But when he tasted it, he would not drink it. When they had crucified Jesus, they divided his garments and cast lots, which is a type of gambling. They sat and guarded him. Over his head they put a sign that read, "This is Jesus, King of the Jews." 2 robbers were crucified with Jesus, one on the right and one on the left. Those who passed by wagged their heads and said, "You who would destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days, save yourself. If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." So also the religious leaders mocked Jesus, saying, "He has saved others, but he cannot save himself. Let him come down from the cross, and we will believe in him. He trusted in God. Let God deliver him now." He said, "I am the Son of God." He said, "I am the Son of God." From the 6th hour to the 9th hour, that's really about 11 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, there was darkness over all the land. At about the 9th hour, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani?" That is, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And some of the bystanders said, "This man is calling Elijah." And one of them ran and took a sponge, filled it with sour wine, and put it on a reed, and gave it to him to drink. But the others said, "Wait, let us see whether Elijah will come to save him." And Jesus cried out again in a loud voice and gave up his spirit. Jesus gave up his spirit. Behold, the temple curtain was torn from top to bottom. The earth shook. Tombs were opened. Many bodies of saints who had fallen asleep were raised, and after his resurrection, they went into the holy city where many saw them. When those who were guarding and keeping watch over Jesus saw the earthquake and what took place, they were filled with awe and said, "Truly, this is the Son of God." Truly, this is the Son of God. Towards the dawn of the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to see the tomb. Behold, there was a great earthquake as the angel of the Lord descended from the heaven and came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. The angel looked like lightning, with clothes as white as snow. In fear the guards trembled and became like dead men. But the angel said to the woman, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Jesus who is crucified. He is not here. He is risen, as he said. He has risen. He has risen." Behold, the angel said, "Come see where he lay. Then go quickly and tell the disciples that he has risen from the dead. Behold, he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him. See, I have told you." So the women left quickly from the tomb with fear and great joy, and they ran to tell the disciples. Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." They fell at his feet, holding them and worshiping him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee, and there they will see me." Jesus said, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell." Do not be afraid. Go and tell. Caravanners, children of God, this is indeed good news. God sent his only Son to take our sin on himself. He took it to the cross, where he defeated sin, death, and the power of the devil. He gives us forgiveness of sins, and on the third day he rose again. We celebrate that resurrection day. He rose from the dead, and that is what Jesus wants us to go and tell. There is no better news to share. Caravanners, caravanners, good news. God rescues us. That's our story for today. We'll see you again tomorrow in the Tent of Meetings.